Kenya Airways is the largest airline in Kenya. The company was founded in 1977 after the dissolution of East African Airways. The carrier's head office is located in Embakasi in Nairobi, with its hub at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The Kenyan government owns 30% of the company and Air France KLM owns 27%. It has a market cap of 950 million rand, a PE of 4 and a dividend yield of 2.6%. Now, Kenya Airways very much so, not listed here in South Africa, but on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. It recently did a rights issue, which was about 70% subscribed.
Yeah, and look, it would have had its rights followed by those two core shareholders. So again, you can see here what I was talking about earlier, government support, preeminent position at the international airport. The presence of Air France KLM is also encouraging because that's one of the stronger European carriers as a result of the consolidation. And I think it's clear what they are best set up to do historically was to fly the routes from Nairobi to Europe. And there's a fair amount of freight which gets moved as well, you know, freshly cut roses and so on and so forth. I understand, though, from speaking to Larry Madowo, our host in Kenya,
Nairobi, yes,
that the real excitement in the market about this stock, having had a tough couple of months, is that they're launching a new sort of low-cost carrier, which is going to be called Jumbo Jet.
Yes, yeah.
And they've got some Boeing Dreamliners, the new 787 Dreamliners, in order to run that. And so they're feeling quite positive about it. But, you know, I mean, the problem is that it's in the same industry, really, and is subject to the same pressures.
Well, Craig, you can't really buy it on the JSE, but when you look at a company like Kenya Airways, suffering a lot from what's happening in Europe. We had passenger numbers in the first quarter of this year and the second quarter falling back. So when you look at a company like Kenya Airways, would you be buying into it if you had the opportunity to?
Well, look, it's not a company I follow very closely because I've not been listed on the JSE, but just talking through your Europe situation, what impressed me is they were quick to react to that. They were able to cut a few of the flights so that they could keep their seats, occupation rates around about 60-odd%. What's good for them on the Europe side is that Virgin Atlantic is actually stopping their flights. In fact, the last flight's the 24th of September out of Nairobi. So that may help going forward. But Europe, I think there's only 4 destinations it flies to. There's about 46 on the African continent. So Europe is just part of the picture, and well, I think they've opened up some extra routes in Asia as well, and flying to India and Middle East as well. So it's quite an interesting story, but as I say, I don't know terribly much. What I do know is some new news out is that the JHS Aviation, which is also safety auditing, and that is also tied up with a joint venture with them. Now, what was interesting with One Time, which we spoke about earlier, is their safety and repairs and maintenance side of the business used to be a very good part of the business. Its last set of results, they lost about 50 million rand. But I think there's opportunities on the African continent for the maintenance of aircraft and so on. So that could be quite an interesting story for Kenya Airlines going forward.
So hot or not on Kenya Airways, Craig?
I'd have to say not hot, not knowing enough about the company.
Okay, not hot for Kenya Airways. Yourself, Paul?
Look, after one of the toughest operating periods in recent years, they still managed to deliver a profit, still managed to pay a dividend. And I'm really going to be, it's like a game show where you've done this call a friend. Larry says they're hot, so I'm going to go with hot. And that's assuming, of course, that you've got an account on the Nairobi exchange and you can buy the shares there in Kenyan shillings.